What happens when you take your home off-grid and need enough power to run everything for days? You need more than just solar. Today I'm breaking down our entire BLUETTI charging setup and how we can recharge our batteries from the sun, from shore power, or even while driving. Let's go. Okay, so before I get into how we charge everything in the van, let's talk about the actual battery and electrical setup real quick. So in this van, I have a BLUETTI AC300 and two BK300 batteries. So in saying that, with the BLUETTI AC300 power unit, I have the two batteries running in parallel to that unit. And that's what basically runs all of our electronics in the van: the fan, the fridge, charging our laptops, phones, drones, any type of device that we want to charge while not driving the van, basically, right? Because you don't want to run the battery on your van down. You have to have supplement power. So that's where all this power station and power unit comes in. On the actual app on your phone, which I will show now, you can actually see the power of the battery, how much you have left, how much it's drawing, how much you're charging the battery, that kind of thing. So all of that can be monitored through the app real time, which is really cool. Now in our van here, I've got all of this equipment installed under the bed. Now I can't get in there right now because it's too messy to show you, so I'll throw a picture that Emily took previously of me working on it and everything. So I'll post that now on the screen here for you to see. So there is what the AC300 and the two B300K batteries look like. Now in saying that, they are quite heavy. It does add, I think, around 50 pounds per battery. And the AC300 itself is not very heavy though. I think it only weighs around 20 pounds. So the three methods of charging these batteries, right? That's what this video is really about. So we have three methods to charge the batteries. One, of course, is solar, and I have a 220 watt solar panel. I do not have this solar panel mounted on the roof of the van, and I did that on purpose. A lot of people do mount their solar panels on the top of their vans, but I really kind of want to park in the shade most of the time if I can. And if you're parking in the shade, you're not getting any solar charge, right? So this solar panel actually has a 20-foot cable that I can then park in the shade and run the solar panel out 20 feet away from the van, hopefully in the sun, and then be able to charge it that way. Okay, so of course, charging via solar is the slowest method of charging the batteries, right? Because you're only going to get 120 to 180 watts. So the second method that I have in the van is charging while driving, and I do that with the BLUETTI Charger 1. I have it installed in one of the seats in the back and running from the battery all the way up to the actual battery in the van. And so when I start the van, it actually starts the Charger 1 and then starts charging the battery. So in saying that, the Charger 1 will charge the battery, I think, at about 550 watts is what its max charge is. But what I've read is you really shouldn't charge it that hard because it taxes your alternator a little bit. So I've actually bumped it down to about 250 watts is what it's charging. So whenever I'm driving, I'm actually charging the battery at 250 watts. And it does it all automatically. I don't have to turn it on, I'll turn it off, anything. When I start the van, it automatically starts charging it, and I can monitor it via the app. Okay, so the third and most powerful, fastest way to charge the batteries in the van is through shore power. And all that is an outlet on the side of a house, on the side of a building, just on the side of a telephone pole, wherever you can find power. So the way that works is I installed it right here on the back of the van. I'll go right here and show you. So you just plug that in. I've got a 100-foot extension cord. So I just take that 100-foot extension cord and just run it somewhere. And if I can plug that in, it'll actually recharge the van at 1,500 watts. So it'll charge from a dead battery to a full battery, I think, in about an hour, which is super fast. It might be an hour and a half, but it's fast. And of course, you're never going to have a dead battery. I've never actually had a dead battery. But being able to charge that fast, 1,500 watts. Now you can also move that down a little bit because that is a lot of watts coming in. I've had an issue a couple times where I've actually plugged it into an outlet and it's blown the breaker, that kind of thing, or tripped it. And so in those instances, a lot of times in the app, you can just go in there and bump it down to say 1,000 watts, you know, whatever, 800 watts, that kind of thing. So, but anyway, shore power is the way to go. It's just sometimes you got to hunt for it and find it. But you'll be surprised how many places have just an outlet on the side of a building, on a lamp post or things like that. I mean, we found shore power all over. I mean, we'll hunt for it if we have to sometimes, because say we're running low on battery, we'll just go and try to find places or scope out places that we can get some juice, you know. And we'll even go there maybe after dark, when it's dark, and just run the extension cord over there and post up for an hour and recharge and then roll on. You're good for 4 days, you know. So, but anyway, that's the main ways that we charge the battery and keep all of our electronics and everything running in the van. Again, if you have any questions about the AC300 or the BK300 batteries, please just comment below, let me know, and we'll chat about it. Maybe I can answer any of the questions you may have. The setup is nice, but it is a big setup in the back of the van, and honestly, the AC300 may be a little bit of overkill. There are other units, I think now, that BLUETTI sells that are smaller units and don't take up as much space. They may even, some of them still use the BK300 or the B300K batteries. I keep saying it wrong. And so those batteries are kind of portable. They can go to their other power stations. So, so yeah, definitely look into probably a different power station than the AC300. I don't even know if they still sell it, to be honest with you, because you could save a little space in your garage under your bed by going that route. So yeah, any questions you have, please comment, let me know. Please subscribe, and thank you for tagging along.